Dhamma friends, it's the last morning of the retreat, and all this week we've been, practicing mindfulness and giving a lot of effort to be mindful and cultivate our attention to what's going on in our bodies and minds, to try to understand the nature of impermanence and the nature of suffering. And we all have, latent defilements in our minds, such as fear and resentment and ill will, things that we've, accumulated our whole lifetime and perhaps even had brought with us even from previous lifetimes. And especially things like resentment and ill will and fear. These are very deep types of defilements, and they, block our ability to totally let go and enter the stream of life, or the stream of real living. From the Buddhist point of view, psychological point of view, real living is, the mind that's in the moment and flowing with the moment to moment, riding the wave of impermanence and not resisting, not clinging, and experiencing that deeper connection with life itself. Life itself means the life force bubbling through your veins and the sensations in the body, not our normal life of just living in our head most of the time. So to open up to the flow of life is what the spiritual life and the Vipassana practice is aimed at doing. As we go through the 5 aggregates, we can see what is blocking our ability to go deeper inside. And there's 2 qualities that we need to cultivate in order to open our minds to this flow of life and to go beyond self-clinging and resentment. And these are forgiveness and loving friendliness. If you are keeping someone out of your heart, not being able to forgive them, that is the distance that you are from freedom. Because if you're not able to forgive people who've hurt you in the past, or you feel have wronged you, then there's always this me and them dimension that's fixed in your consciousness, and you won't be able to go beyond it to enter the real flow of life. So it means we really open our hearts to others, to all beings. What blocks the heart with bitterness, fear, and hatred, what we want from another, we just let go of that, and we just send love, even to ourselves. We no longer want to change another person, or even that another person should change. But we just open to them, just as they are, without conditions. An opening into oneness, beyond the need to settle the score. And gradually love replaces clinging and resentment. And forgiveness renews life by finishing the unfinished business. Unfinished business is the mind clinging to these types of resentments in memories, not being able to forgive the other, and not being able to open up to the flow of life. So if you die with that unfinished business, there's still something that you want out of this mundane life, or want from anybody, then that's going to be the fuel for coming back again to finish it. Even an unsuccessful attempt at forgiveness has the considerable power of its intention. It's the intention itself of wanting to forgive. You may not be successful at actually doing it, but it's the intention to try to do it. Forgiveness has the capacity to heal the forgiver and sometimes the forgiven. We might forgive somebody, but they may or may not, accept it, but it's healing ourselves. We may think that we're not in pain, but that is a measure of how numb we have become. That is the armor against our grief. Forgiveness does not condone unkind actions. It doesn't let the person off the hook, but embraces the momentary actor in their unmindfulness, their own broken heart. It is mercy in action, as compassion is wisdom in action. And in the same way as we forgive others, we should forgive ourselves as well. So forgiveness and having gratitude for what you have in life is catching up on your life, is attending to unfinished business. Some don't catch up until just a few days or hours before they die. Others avoid the last-minute rush and begin now. As you look at your relationships one by one, how much do you sense you would have to work out before you could really say with heartfelt warmth, goodbye? How much of the self-protective barrier remains? Is there still business to finish? Lingering jealousy, anger, possessiveness, guilt? How incomplete is the touching of your heart with another? It's painful to keep another out of our heart. And it will be the barrier which keeps us from the truth, from totally letting go at the time of death, from being able to dissolve the I and other into the light of love and oneness, into pure being. When you can look at your mind and still keep your heart open, then business is finished. Not that memories are absent. There is just no pulling or pushing. No loss or gain or wanting to even the score. But just a going beyond holding in a soft awareness that meets each moment with compassion instead of fright. With gratitude and stillness instead of agitation. For a world that is dissolving behind us, you can let go of this world and enter the next world afresh. Whether it's the next world in terms of actual rebirth or the next world in terms of the next moment. You can enter the next moment fresh. Even if someone you have unfinished business with has already died or departed, left your life, the process is the same. It is mainly this precious work on ourselves. It's our mind we have to live with. The other need not be present, nor even know of the process that you are sharing with them. It is dissolving the barriers in our own heart. When two people are pulling on opposite ends of a rope, it takes only one of them to let go, to release all of the tension between them. The separation and antagonism of a lifetime dissolve in a moment of love. So, in this, I wanted to offer you a guided meditation in forgiveness, and I know that in the last 8 days you probably have been trying to forget all of, your various problems with other people and things like that. But nevertheless, they may still be there in your unconscious mind. And maybe there's somebody even in the retreat that bugged you or something like that you had some negative feelings about. But so in this kind of meditation, you would try to remember back, whether it's in the recent past or the distant past, maybe from your childhood, or maybe you'd been abused or something. Anyway, some sort of memories that are still fairly vivid for you, even though you may not dwell on them that much, but still there's any lingering type of resentment or not having totally forgiven some person, you can recall that person and practice this with them. And if you don't have such type of memories in your mind now, it may happen in the future. And so this is a useful type of meditation to do that actually could even be done every night before you go to sleep, as in conjunction with metta meditation. If anybody had wronged you or insulted you or whatever during the day, unfairly you stole your job away by lying to the boss or whatever, rather than harboring this kind of ill will and poison, you can practice that on a daily basis. So go ahead and just start meditating. Just first to sit in a comfortable posture and take a few deep, slow breaths. Try to relax the body and the mind, really get in touch with the body sitting and breathing. On the in-breath, you might think, may I would be well, happy and peaceful. On the out-breath, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. You start to remember some person that you might want to share this thoughts with. Try to Picture them in your mind's eye. Just kind of remember whatever situation it was that hurt you. Try to actually bring them into your heart. You can imagine them sitting in the middle of your chest. Take a few more deep, slow breaths and just imagine that healing breath entering them, filling them up. And say to that person, I forgive you for what you've done to me in the past. Either intentionally or unintentionally, by your thoughts, words, actions, or body language. Or anything you did not do which I wanted to be done. Anything that caused me pain. I forgive you. Even if it's difficult, say, I forgive you. Allow that person to settle into your heart. No forcing it, just opening to them at your own pace. I forgive you. If you find this difficult, don't judge yourself. If it hurts, let it hurt. Just gradually open to that person. I forgive you. Just let your heart open just a bit more. Even just a moment of opening, letting go of resentment, brings in the light. I forgive you. Just allow them to be forgiven. I truly forgive you. To feel the relief. If you feel like crying, it's okay. Crying is a deep release. Now the same person, or perhaps another person whom you have hurt in the past, speak to them in your heart. Please forgive me for any pain I've caused you in the past, either by my thoughts, words, actions, or body language, or for things I did not do which I should have done. I ask your forgiveness. Please forgive me. I did that out of my own unmindfulness, ignorance, fear, clinging. But now I'm consciously trying to change. Please forgive me. Allow yourself to be forgiven. Don't allow low self-worth or guilt block receiving this forgiveness. Let your heart open to the possibility of forgiveness. And now, forgive yourself. Using your own name in your own heart, say, I forgive you. It's so painful to hold yourself out of your heart. Don't reject yourself. All the hurt and pain I've given to others over the years were done from ignorance, greed and hatred. But I am now consciously walking the path of Dhamma, trying to change. You should at least feel good about that. Just let those memories, judgments of yourself fall away. Say, I forgive you to yourself. Let yourself have some space. Let some loving friendliness be directed to yourself. And take a few deep, slow 3-part breaths, filling up the lungs. Just feel or imagine that pure life force purifying your whole nervous system, refreshing the body and mind. Just feel yourself filled with a new strength, a new energy, mindfulness and wisdom, and loving friendliness to meet and overcome all obstacles on this path to awakening, on this higher evolution, the conscious evolution. Just keep grounded in the body, just feeling the expanding and contracting of the breathing. Feel the pulse of the heart beat. pulse in the arteries. Just imagine this life force is pure energy, pure love, pure wisdom, radiating from your body and mind in all directions. Just imagine it filling up this room and spreading out across this monastery, over the hills and valleys, through the towns and the cities beyond. Just imagine this pure energy of loving friendliness and wisdom, calming, soothing, and healing the pain and suffering in the bodies and minds of all the beings it passes through. And send this pure vibration to all those you have forgiven, to your parents, husband or wife, children, relatives, friends. And continue to expand this radiation, sending these loving friendliness vibrations to the teachers you had in school and other places, and the friends you've had from childhood to the present, to all the neighbors you've had and all other acquaintances that you've had from childhood to the present. Just in a general way, not one by one. And continue radiating this healing energy vibration further afield to include strangers on the street, indifferent persons, and even so-called enemies. And if you can imagine it, imagine the earth suspended in space. Or imagine one of those photos from the space shuttle, the earth in space. Just imagine enveloping the whole earth with a warm, soft glow of light and loving friendliness. Just imagining it permeating and saturating everything on the earth, all living creatures. May all beings be well. May all beings be free from resentment, ego-driven greed and hatred. May all beings be able to forgive and forget. May all beings cultivate the free heart. May all beings be able to die to the ego and its past conditioning. May all beings be grounded in the here and now. May all beings be able to understand the ultimate interdependence, interconnectedness, and essential oneness of all things. May all beings be well, peaceful, and wise. It's like a mantra reverberating through space. May all beings be well, peaceful, and wise. May all beings be well, peaceful, and wise. Dukkha patacani dukkha bhaya patacani bhaya soka patacani soka Hantu sabbe pipani no. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. In this way may all beings live.